Hey guys, Buffer Gaming back, bringing you another video today for our blueprint series, and today we're going to be covering the new blueprint that was added today called the RPK, which is pretty convenient because they added this, and it's the first blueprint we've seen with the actual name of a real weapon conversion. So obviously this is a conversion to the RPK, that is the name of the blueprint, part of the Monkey Business bundle that you can see on screen here for only 500 COD points, which is a pretty good deal, especially because you get a pretty decently updated cosmetic variant to what we can already make with the RPK. So if you want to spend that just 500 COD points, not very expensive, and you get a pretty nice looking, updated, newer looking RPK. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, and I'll show you this, how to build it, how you can build it if you don't have the blueprint, as well as just some gameplay, show it off, how it handles at base with the attachments that it comes with in the bundle. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So here you see our finished product is the RPK blueprint, and we'll point out the differences between this and the original AK-47 conversions that you can use versus this blueprint. So let's go ahead and just back out right now. What I'm going to do is just go to my blueprints, and I'll show you this one comes here. So here is the blueprint for the RPK. You can see in the top left hand corner there, it's called the RPK. So we only have 3 attachments on this. So let's go ahead, and what I'll do is select this. And we'll look at the attachments. I'll show you what I added in for the gameplay and using it online, just because it doesn't affect the overall looks of the weapon. So first off, obviously, we're going to skip the muzzle. It's going to come with that standard flash hider on there, the compensator for the RPK. And then for the barrel, it's going to go ahead and select the 23-inch Romanian is what comes with this blueprint. So this one is going to assist us with the damage at range, bullet velocity, and the recoil control, with the cons being ADS speed and movement speed. So you do get similar stats with the RPK barrel, but obviously you can see these changes here update the weapon a little bit with the new wood furnace that we'll get into. So we'll go ahead and select that. Skipping down the laser as well as the optic. Now the stock here again is just the field LMG stock that you would get with the RPK. Go ahead and select that. The pros being aiming stability, with the cons being aim, walking, movement speed. So go ahead and leave that one on there. Perk and a rear grip, nothing comes with that for this blueprint. And then just the ammunition, we get the 75 round drum mag of a 7.62 by 39 millimeters. So that's going to increase our magazine capacity, obviously, as well as the cons being ADS speed and movement speed, since we have extra ammo with the drum mag on the weapon. And then obviously we're skipping on the underbarrel because it's a Romanian barrel that comes with this, a 23-inch Romanian barrel that already has the built-in wooden foregrip on the weapon. So you're getting a 2-for-1 with that. Now, this is what the blueprint comes with. This is what I added when using it online. I added in, just for the ADS speed, I wanted to put in the stipple grip tape. So this is just going to assist us with the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed, with the cons being aiming stability. So you can go ahead and throw this one on here, as well as then I just added a perk. And for that one, I did frangible wounding. This is all really personal preference. You can throw an optic on there too if you would want to, but the frangible wounding inflicts wounding effects, so it takes a longer time for the enemy to be able to heal after they've gotten hit and retreated. And then that's basically the final design. So just added frangible wounding as well as the stipple grip tape, just to assist with the ADS speed online, since it is a longer barrel and your movement speed is a little low with the drum mag on there. But this is the final blueprint for the RPK, and it's nice that is what it's called now. I said that is the first time that we've had a blueprint named after an actual weapon conversion. Typically we see different made-up names, and this one just coming right out and saying RPK. So that's pretty nice, giving us a true RPK. Now, what are the differences between this and the base AK-47 if you were to throw these attachments on there? So let's go ahead and take a look at that quickly before we get into the gameplay. And here you see we have the RPK blueprint, and now if I go down one, you can see the difference with the AK-47, my blueprint that I made for our original conversion video, the RPK. So you can see the difference there if I just jump into this. These are all the same attachments. So the main differences are you have the older rustic wooden handguard, as well as a pistol grip and the LMG stock, as well as the black metal finish on the weapon is just a little bit more rustic and beat up looking on this. It's not quite as clean and black as you can see here. It's a little rustic. You have like some dinks in it overall, so it's a little older looking, being that it is based on an original AK-47 build with this particular conversion. So now if we jump out to the blueprint that we have for the RPK, you'll see the differences. We have a nice, much updated, cleaner handguard there, as well as the buttstock for the weapon, as well as the replaced pistol grip there for this with an, I believe it's a, I want to say an AK 74M or N pistol grip. It comes with, regardless, it's the newer wood finish that goes along with the weapon. Then you can also see with the milled receiver there, as well as the barrel and the bipod, everything is much cleaner of a black finish. It's not as old and rustic looking. And then obviously, I think that's really it. Your iron sights also are a little bit cleaner looking. So overall, it's just a cleaner, updated version of the AK-47 with the RPK conversion on it. And now, what does this look like if we were to swap out attachments? Because I know you guys like to see that. If I put a compact barrel on there, you can see you replace it with the old wooden handguard again. The standard RPK barrel, again, it's just an old wooden handguard in there. You can see the difference between the wood finish as well as just the barrel finish versus what you see in the receiver, how clean the metal is versus how dirty and beat up it is on the barrel. And then obviously Spetsnaz barrel, something like this actually looks pretty neat too. But Spetsnaz barrel, you don't have a handguard. It's replaced with Midwest Industries M-Lock handguard. But again, you can just see the older looking barrel design off the handguard there. It's just an older looking, more beat up metal. Now, other attachments, if we were to take off of the stock, it gives it that same AK-47 buttstock. And then your other stock designs, either skeleton, no stock, and then your close quarters with basically your Magpul type stocks there. Go ahead and leave that on. And then for the magazines, obviously you have your drum mag, the 5.45, which just recently got a buff, and then the 40 round specialist mag. So you could probably make something similar to, you can make like the RPK 74 with this, with the 5.45 by 39 magazine here, although it's only 30 and not a 45 round magazine. And then obviously you have the 40 round magazine of the 7.62 if maybe you want to move a little bit faster compared to the drum mag. And you can see how that looks. Actually a pretty nice looking design right there as well. And that does go along with the RPK design. So we'll just go ahead and keep that drum mag. And that is the final design. So this is the newly updated blueprint for the RPK. It's a Russian light machine gun. Go ahead and jump into the gameplay here for this weapon. I'm just using this on Euphrates Bridge where we initially did the weapon conversion for the original RPK that we just showed off a little bit there. And the RPK is as I said, a Russian light machine gun, squad automatic weapon. Place of origin would be the Soviet Union. Was designed in 1961, put in service, and it is in service through present, obviously being phased out over the years with different Russian machine guns. And we just covered the RPK-16, which is based off of the AK-12-15 platform, which is going to be replacing the AK-74s and the RPK-74s that are still in service in Russia. So those will be being phased out for the RPK-16. Different wars that this was been in use all the way through since Vietnam, Syrian Civil War, Iraq conflict, obviously still used in Iraq, most prominently Gulf War, Iran-Iraq War, Afghan War, where the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. So what are the stats on this? Obviously, we have the 23-inch barrel on this, the Romanian barrel with the built-in wooden foregrip. So the barrel length is, in real life, 23.2 inches, so that's pretty accurate. We have the 23-inch flat, two barrels attachments for this weapon that come in at 23 inches, so that's nice. Cartridge, as I said, is the 7.62 by 39 millimeter. It's a gas-operated rotating bolt or closed bolt design. The rate of fire on the RPK is 600 rounds per minute, with the muzzle velocity being 745 meters per second. That's 2,444 feet per second. The effective range on the RPK is going to be 100 through 1,000 meters based on sight adjustment. And then the feed system, as we talked about, comes in through a 20 round, 30 round, 40 round, or even a 75 round drum mag, which is what we see here with this design. We have a 75 round drum mag built on this, and then obviously we could still throw on the 40 round magazine there as well, and that would stay true to the weapon as well. So obviously base that has the same AK iron sights, and that's really it. Different variants of this weapon that you can make in the game, which we covered. We obviously have the RPK-16. Now, if you were, as I showed, if you were to throw the 5.45 rounds on this, you would have an RPK-74 design. And then if we were able to get a folding stock, we could have something like an RPK-S design as well. But again, as I said, the RPKs 74s that are in service as well as the RPKs are going to be phased out and replaced by the RPK-16, which is based on the AK-12, AK-15 platform. The other variants, you also had the RPK-S74, again, just a 5.45 folding stock design. You had the RPK 74M, which was a more modernized version of the RPK, and that obviously fired in 545 by 39, being that it is designated 74 series. And then the newer version would be the RPK 16, which I'll link that video down below as well. We use the steel curtain blueprint to build that one. So just some interesting facts here. It is pretty cool that Infinity Ward released a blueprint with a conversion that gives it the actual name of the weapon. So obviously we covered the RPK conversion a while back, and you can make that in the game as well as multiple other AK builds. But to see a blueprint actually named RPK gives me hope to see what other attachments we'll have added to different weapons in the future, and possible blueprints that give it the correct weapon designated name. So for example, if we were to have the AK-12 blueprint put in the game, if they were to actually call the blueprint the AK-12. So essentially you're having new weapons added based on blueprints and maybe different attachments that are added to the game. So I think that's a good opportunity that I'd like to see Infinity Ward, Activision, whoever's in charge of actually pushing these out to the store, which Infinity Ward obviously doing the development, would I think they should capitalize on this. So I think hopefully this is the beginning of some things to come. We saw the additional attachments added to the Uzi a few weeks back. They're playing around and buffing the 5.45 rounds this week, as well as now we have the RPK blueprint that was added to the game. So it seems like some more additional and new content like this should be coming going forward. I'm really looking forward to see what we do for that. So I'm going to link below also a tweet that I did for the AK-12, the Joel Emsley. And if you guys go ahead and retweet that, I think it'd be really cool if we could get some more modern looking AK builds in the game. Obviously, the steel curtain is more of an AKN that we covered, even though in game it's designated the AK-12 in single player. But if we get an actual AK-12, AK-15 blueprint in the game, I think that'd be really neat. And we could even call it, now that we have the RPK blueprint, we could call it the AK-12. So I think that'd be awesome. I'd really love to see that. You could do that with multiple different weapons. There's a lot of opportunities there. And I think in a lot of in the Season 2 and beyond predictions or things that I wanted to see, I covered a lot of different weapons that we could see. So, for example, if we were to add, if they didn't want to add something like a HK416 or a 417 to the game, they could give us additional attachments, throw it into a blueprint, obviously make the attachments available for everybody to unlock, but then throw it into a blueprint and call it the HK416 or the 417. Have those new attachments added to the M4, added together into the blueprint, and giving it the name HK416 or M416 or M417. So stuff like that I think would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to see what happens going forward. Also, hopefully stay tuned. Maybe we'll get some Warzone news coming out tomorrow, Monday, and possibly dropping Tuesday. Again, it's just rumors, so we'll have to go ahead and see what happens there. But if you guys are liking the content, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this RPK blueprint. Do you want to see more blueprints like this going forward? Also, be sure if you're liking the content to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It definitely helps out smaller channels like me, and I really appreciate the growth that we've gotten over the past few months since this game has launched. So I really appreciate all you guys. Try to get back to all the comments below. Also, if you want to get a hold of me, sometimes it is hard to catch up on YouTube. The social media links are down below. So we have Instagram, Twitter, as well as a Discord down there below if you want to hop into the community. We'll be starting to do some more community play events down there as well in the Discord. So go ahead and jump in there and join up with the community, post your weapon conversions, things like that, and we'll have a good time there. So I'm going to leave you guys with whatever gameplay we have left here just for the RPK, showing off how it handles. Obviously, this thing in prone would be very nice as well if you want to use it as a typical LMG roll, but let me know what you think. Is this a blueprint that you would purchase, or will you wait and see maybe something like an AK-12 blueprint or a different weapon designated blueprints like that would be something that you'd look forward to see in the future? So let me know down below. Until next time, this is Buckner Gaming with the RPK blueprint. Buckner Gaming, out.